Back to channel. Today we are going to see chlamydia. Chlamydia is an intracellular gram-negative bacteria. It is very small. It's an obligate intracellular because it can't live outside the body, and it is now renamed as chlamydiophilia. Let us see once its taxonomic classification. It is belonging to the order Chlamydiales and the family Chlamydiaceae, genus Chlamydia, and there are 4 different species like Trichometis, Pneumoniae, Pistachi, and the Pecorum. But the Trichometis is the most important species, which is causing eye diseases mainly. So let us see at the overview. These are the obligate intracellular bacteria. They grow only within the cells with special replicative cycle, of which the Chlamydia trichometis is a major pathogen. So we are going to learn about that. And let us see the general properties of this chlamydia. They are obligate intracellular parasites which contains both DNA and RNA, and are gram-negative bacteria. So one more thing, they doesn't have peptidoglycan. Of course, all gram-negative bacteria have peptidoglycan, but here in this case there is no peptidoglycan. And there is also lack of ability to synthesize their own ATP. They can't produce their own ATP, so they depend on the host ATP. So these are called as energy parasites, and they replicate mainly by binary fission. So some of the morphological features, they have mainly 2 morphological features. One is the elementary body and the other is the reticulate body. So you can see this outer one, this is the elementary body, smaller one, this is the reticulate body. First let us understand the differences and understand the life cycle, their cycle. So the elementary body is extracellular because you can see outside extracellular, and it is an infectious particle. The rigidity of cell wall is due to disulfide cross-linking. And this reticulate body, here you can see it is intracellular inside, and it is metabolically active form, and cell wall lacks disulfide cross-linking because it is inside, so it doesn't require any cell wall. But as this is outside, it takes a strong cell wall to invade into many other cells, and so for that. So here you can see this replicative cycle. These are spore-like. Elementary body are spore-like, enters the cell, and reticulate body are larger, active, divided many times to change into the elementary body, which are released from the host cell. So inclusion body is a consists of many daughter reticulate as well as elementary bodies, which can be seen with Giemsa stain. So you can see this cycle. First let us understand. The elementary body comes from outside and attaches to the wall, and next enters inside. And after entering inside, you can see what happens. Those cells replicate, that is elementary cells replicate, and next they come out like this. Here this is the inclusion body. From this inclusion body, the elementary body again comes out and again infects, so the cycle continues, but the reticulate body is always inside. So this is the cycle. And next let's see the cultural property. That is the developmental cycle. Before we have learned in the before knowing cultural property, we need to know some other important points. Differences between the Trichometis and Pistachi. So this Trichometis is causing eye and genital infections, but Pistachi is commonly causing the pneumonia. And the inclusion possesses a glycogen before iodine, and it stains brown. That is about Trichometis. And Pistachi stains with iodine. And the compact inclusions are present, sensitive to sulfonamides, that is Trichometis, and diffuse vacuolated inclusions resistant to sulfonamides, that is Pistachi. It is resistant to sulfonamides. And next let us see the for which situations the chlamydia is sensitive. It is sensitive to routine disinfectants and heat. So by a lot of heat we can kill it. And the antigens which are present in it are, there are 3 main antigens, that is genus specific antigen, species specific antigen, and serotype specific antigen. Genus specific antigen is mainly present in Trichometis and Pistachi, that is LPS. That is lipopolysaccharide protein in nature, heat stable, complement fixing, and present in both elementary body and reticular body. And next, species specific antigen. It is a major outer membrane protein antigen. And the serotype specific antigen, it has different serovars. What are the serovars? Let us see. And the Trichometis is classified into 2 biovars. Biovars means biological variants. Serovars means serological variants. So what are the biological variants? They are TRIC, that is trachoma and inclusion conjunctivitis, the agent of trachoma and inclusive conjunctivitis. And LGV means lymphogranuloma venerum, that is the agent of LGV. So again these biovars are differentiated into serovars. So there are 15 serotypes established by neutralization and immunofluorescence. So those 15 types are divided into TRIC, LGV. In TRIC there are 12 serovars, that is A, B, C, D to K. And LGV there are 3 serovars, that is L1, L2, L3. So this is just to remember. So how can we identify and grow this chlamydia? They can be grown in animal inoculation, egg inoculation and tissue culture. In animal inoculation we use mice, where elementary bodies are observed in smears prepared from lungs, peritoneal, exudate, spleen, brain after the death of the animal. And in embryonate hen's eggs we can see the yolk sac is used. So chlamydia multiply in endothelial cells and they are detected by impression spears stained with the Giemsa stain. And in cell culture the cells are irradiated with metabolic inhibitors, and McConkey, HeLa, monkey kidney or mouse fibroblasts are used for the culture. And the presence of chlamydia can be detected by staining of inclusion. So first understand the pathogenicity of chlamydia. The chlamydia produce mainly the infections of eye, genital tract, respiratory tract. So these are mainly transmitted sexually, and the eye infections which this causes, you can see pathogenesis. Chlamydia trachomatis causes eye, respiratory, genital tract infections. Trachomatis is usually transmitted by close personal contacts. So you can see how it is causing conjunctivitis. This is the upper right part, conjunctivitis, and here the eye problems, even causing sometimes blindness. So in eye it may cause trachoma, inclusive conjunctivitis, and ophthalma neonatrum, that is in neonates. And in genital tracts in males it causes urethritis, epididymitis, proctitis. In females it causes urethritis, cervicitis, proctitis, planingitis, and also infertility. And respiratory tract it may cause pneumonia of an infant, pharyngitis pneumonia, and also pistachosis. So these are all the infections caused by this species chlamydia, this microorganism chlamydia. And also the lymphogranuloma venerum, it's nothing but a painless papular ulcer on the penis in males and fortuitae in females, and the regional lymph nodes are enlarged in males, then it is known as bubo, and become tender and may break open with the formation of sinus. This takes place in males. And respiratory tracts infections, mainly pneumonia, that is also mainly because of pistachosis species. In this, what this pistachosis species is mainly from the birds transmitted to the man. So organism is excreted in discharge of birds, so human acquired by the inhalation or with the close contact with birds. So in that case they may acquire this infection. And you can see the culture property is nothing but growing only inside the host cells, because we can't grow it outside. And resistant, it is highly resistant to cold but very low resistance to heat, and it is killed by the general chemicals. That is nothing but disinfectants, we can kill it. And here you can see how clinical findings chlamydia trachomatis cause eye, respiratory, genital tract infections. As I said, trachomatis is usually transmitted by close personal contact. Clinical findings transmitted by finger to eye. Trachoma is a leading cause of blindness in developing countries. Conjunctivitis, infants born by infected mothers through birth canal, so sometimes from mother to child it may. And conjunctiva also occur in adults as a result of transfer of organisms from the genitals to the eye by sexual contact. So genital tract infections are sexually or by passage through the birth canal, and the respiratory tract infections mainly in the young adults. So coming to laboratory diagnosis, we can use the specimens like in case of eyes, we take liquids from the eye, scrapings from the mucosa of eye, or we take in case of genital organs like urethra, vagina, cervix, blood, and also sputum. We take sputum and blood for the respiratory findings. And collections, by taking rubbing a swab on the mucous membrane to get this. And we transport this medium by using sucrose phosphate saline medium with also gentamicin, vancomycin, and also amphotericin B. So used for the transport of specimens, these are used. And in the microscopic examinations, we may find, especially by light microscope, infection of conjunctiva, urethra, cervix, demonstrated by showing inclusions when sample is stained with Giemsa, or also we can use the Castaneda stain. And in conjunctival scrapings, we use a special bodies called HP bodies. This is Hall-Bestrecht Provazek bodies. These are observed in the conjunctival scraping. And in bubo aspirate, that is in the male's inguinal lymph nodes, we observe the Miyagawa's granulocorpuscles are seen. And immunofluorescence we do by fluorescein isthionocyanate labeled antibody against the species specific antigen. So culture, it is inoculated in mice cell culture or yolk sac for isolation, and antigen detection can be done by ELISA, and nucleic acid detection can be done by DNA probes, PCR, that amplifies the nucleic acid of bacteria by amplification of the DNA, and also we do the chemiluminescence assay. So it uses a Acridium ester labeled single stranded DNA probe which is complementary to RNA of C. trachomatis, and labeled DNA to RNA hybrid is detected by luminometer. And also we do the antibody detection. So antibody detection is by CFT. It is useful in LGV and also pistachos to detect the antibodies, and microimmunofluorescence ELISA. We can also do skin tests used in LGV, and heat inactivated LGVs grown in yolk sac of an egg injected intradermally on the forearm with control. And the positive reaction, inflammatory nodule appears on the test arm in 2 days. So when we do this, we can see the inflammation and reaches the maximum up to 7 millimeters in 4 to 5 days. So these are some of the laboratory techniques you can remember. So you can see the samples, exudates from the Sockers, that is snides or lesion of urine, and inclusion body can be seen with Giemsa stain cultured in living cells. Chlamydial antigens can also be detected in samples by enzyme linked immunosorbent assay, that is ELISA, as I discussed. So what would be the prevention? No vaccine against it, so maintain good personal hygiene, so always maintain good hygiene. And treatment, carry on the antibacterial treatment, antibiotics. So what are those antibiotics like? Tetracycline, erythromycin and sulfonamides. So this is all about chlamydia.